Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of JC Fishing New England. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 3 baits for pre-spawn and spawn fishing in New England. Just one quick thing guys, before we get into today's video, I just wanted to thank New England Bassin, NE Bassin, for sponsoring me along with helping me out with growing my YouTube channel and my fishing career. For those of you that are wondering to check out NE Bassin, what you need to know is there's 3 types of tournaments. There are kayak tournaments, individual and team. There are mini boat tournaments, individual and team. And there are also big boat tournaments for big bass boats. All other info about prices and dates and anything like that, please visit NE Bassin. I'll link it in the description below. Okay guys, now let's get back into the video. So coming in on my 3rd spot for my top 3 bass fishing baits for pre-spawn and spawn for fishing in New England would be a suspended jerkbait. I like throwing shallow diving, anywhere from 2 to 5 foot shallow diving suspended jerkbaits, because I fish a lot of small bodies of water like ponds and small lakes, and I fish always from the bank. So in doing that, there's a lot of fallen down trees and a lot of grass and upcoming lily pads and weeds that you snag if you go too deep. So I just like to use a shallow diving jerkbait just so I don't hook everything in the pond. Also, the visibility in the ponds is probably around 4 to 6 feet, I would say. It's stained water, so all my jerkbaits have rattles, and they also have a shiny backing. This Rapala has a gold backing. I also have a silver backing. And I like to throw jerkbaits along rocks. Also, I'll just throw it out in the middle and use it as a search bait. I would throw the jerkbait on would be 10 to 12 pound fluorocarbon line. Preferably, I go Seagar. This isn't a sponsored video at all, but ever since Andrew Flair posted a video about him using the Seagar line and how it's the best line out there, I had to try it, and it truly is. I've never had a complaint. I've never had a problem with Seagar line. It could have a nick in it, and it still works perfectly fine. You could fight a 6, 7, 8 pound bass on it. It won't break. Then for the rod, I use a Dobbins Fury medium heavy fast action rod. And for the reel, I use a Lew's speed spool with a 6:8 to 1 gear ratio. And that is my setup I usually throw my suspended jerkbaits on. Also, last thing about the suspended jerkbait, I usually do a twitching motion every 3 seconds and then I pause. 3 seconds, pause, 3 seconds, pause on all retrievals, no matter where I'm casting. Coming in my 2nd spot for my top 3 bass fishing baits for pre-spawn and spawn fishing in New England is a Ned rig. For the Ned rig, I use a Z-Man Finesse TRD paired with a Z-Man Stroom Z weedless head. For the TRD, I'll either use green pumpkin or black and blue depending on the water clarity that day. I fish it along weed lines, rock walls, rocky banks, and fallen down trees. My retrieve is either I'll reel it in with every 5 seconds, I'll do a twitch if they're finicky that day, or every 2 seconds, I'll just pop it, let it sit, pop it, let it sit, pop it, let it sit. The line I use is 8 to 10 pound Seagar fluorocarbon. The rod I use is a Lew's Match 2 speed stick. The reel I use, it came as a combo, so the reel is a Lew's Match 2 speed spin with a 6:2 to 1 gear ratio. Lastly, the 3rd bait coming in at the number 1 spot today is a Z-Man Freedom Chatterbait. I usually either throw a bluegill color, black and blue, or green pumpkin. I fish it everywhere. I'll take a cast all over the pond, all over the lake, on every bank, everywhere. I will throw a chatterbait. Chatterbaits straight up catch fish in pre-spawn and spawn. How I fish it is I'll either reel it along the bottom and twitch it about every 6 to 8 seconds, or I'll just do a slow, steady retrieve and either twitch every 2 seconds or don't twitch at all. The line I use is anywhere from 10 to 15 pound fluorocarbon. Cigar again. The rod I use is a Dobbins Fury medium heavy fast action rod. The same rod I threw a jerkbait on. The reel I use is a Lew's Speed Spool 6:8-to-1 gear ratio. This is actually the exact setup I used yesterday in my previous video to catch all those bass, except for the rod was a Shakespeare ugly stick, but that broke when I was fishing off camera. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below any questions you have. I will make sure to reply to all. Also, stay tuned because later in the week I will be going fishing on a kayak in a pond over by my house, and I'll be recording it all. Thanks again for watching another episode of JC Fishing New England. Always remember, one last cast never hurts. Peace.